My name is Gary Pohlman. I'm an assistant principal at Zumwalt North High School. This is year number 11 here on the north side. Before that, I did 2 years at Zumwalt South, where I was a social studies teacher and head wrestling coach. Also helped out with the football team. Before that, I worked at Hazelwood Central for 8 years. That was a neat experience for me because that's actually the high school I graduated from. So I was born and raised in Florissant, graduated from Hazelwood Central, went to Southern Illinois, Edwardsville for college, and then been in education ever since. My mom was a teacher, and coming up as a kid, I always enjoyed working with younger kids. And I think as I got older, that sense of being able to give back, that sense of being part of a community became more and more important to me. And so I would say that's probably the driving force. It's easier for kids who aren't in that majority to disappear, to find that corner in the cafeteria, to find that corner in the classroom, and be non-existent. You know, if you celebrate everyone, I think that is what brings out the best in your school. We have kids that are, again, dealing with different situations, not necessarily from an ethnic point of view, but from a socioeconomic, from a lifestyle, from a family structure point of view. There are all kinds of stories that are wandering in the hall in the 1,500 kids that we have here.
So what about your story?
Yeah, my story is about this time last year, I went to the doctor because I had a sore throat that I couldn't get rid of. And through a series of tests, it was diagnosed that it was throat cancer. I didn't know it at the time, but the type of throat cancer that I have is extremely common right now or is becoming more and more common for guys in their mid-40s. And I fell into that age, that group. As we entered it, the diagnosis and the outlook was very, very, very positive. In fact, the type of cancer that I have has actually an over 90% cure rate first time through treatments. The treatments were radiation and chemotherapy. So we did that through October and November of last year. It was tough, but I would say that the journey that I've been through in that is light compared to what a lot of folks have to deal with in dealing with their cancer. I was lucky enough to teach for a while at Zumwalt South. My wife has taught at Zumwalt South for 20 years. I've been here now at North High School for 11 years. What was amazing going through that experience last fall was the incredible amount of support that both high schools showed to our family. I still go through chemotherapy every Monday, and so that's 8 hours a day that I'm sitting hooked up getting treatment. And either my father or my wife comes to every appointment, and for a long time, it was hard for me to say, hey, you know, come and sit there for 8 hours, because we're not doing anything. I mean, it's literally just sitting in a chair for 8 hours. But the experience that I've had is the people coming to see you, to sit in the chair with you, that's their way of helping. That's their way. They're getting as much out of that as you're getting. I can't voice the emotional support that comes from somebody sitting there and being in that treatment with me. But I think on the flip side, I know that my wife feels that, and I know that my father feels that's their way of being supportive, and that's their way of helping. You know, so many times when you see somebody that you love or you care for going through things, my gosh, you just want to make it right. And unfortunately, there are a lot of things in this world that you just can't make right, but you can help, and you can do your part, and by giving to someone else or by letting them give to you, that's their part of trying to make things right.
What does the word hope mean to you?
You know, and I don't know if this is going to be a fair question, but it's something that's really come out of this, or a fair answer to your question, but it's really something that's come out of this that's changed who I am. Obviously, when somebody gets diagnosed with cancer, what you hope for is that the cancer will go away. That's kind of common sense. And so that obviously I fell into that right away also. And so you hope and you pray and you hope and you pray. And my individual experiences, the cancer didn't go away. The cancer spread. And so you start to wonder, my goodness, why is that? What hope comes from that? And what I have found is that my experience in dealing with the cancer and going through what my family is going through right now, I've gotten something that I never would have hoped for. I've gotten more than I ever would have hoped for, in that the show of support and the love of our community that I've experienced, I never ever would have seen a fraction of that. Not that it didn't exist, but I wouldn't have been cognizant of it. I wouldn't have experienced it. I wouldn't have been blessed with that had the cancer not happened. In so many ways, life is better now than it was 12 months ago. And it's just based on the sheer appreciation of what I have and I guess who I have in my life. And that's something that I didn't know to hope for before this whole thing started. And so I guess to finally get around to answering your question, what hope means for me is there's a plan. There's always good in a situation. There's always going to be a positive. And I think the challenge for us is being able to find it and being able to accept it as you're going through what isn't desirable and what isn't what you hoped for in the beginning, because there's always a positive there, and there's always something. There's always an opportunity for things to be better. At the end of the day, we're all people. We're all dealing with the same problems. We're all facing the same challenges, but how we get there and how those challenges are presented to us, and then how we have to deal with those challenges, is a very individual thing. And that's where I think there are some really cool stories to be told.